Aren't you drinking tonight, Jim? I've been drinking. I mean, drinking. Aren't you? One sip doth not a hangover make. Me? This is not my first one, Mr. Denton. Just the same, she raised her glass and took a healthy swallow, and choked over it, at which Denton ungallantly chuckled. Seriously, Jim, if you're not drinking, you don't have to sit here with me. George will get here eventually. Have you danced? Not yet. Oh, I'm so sorry. He found himself rather annoyed at her tone, and the discovery surprised him. Jim Denton and Corinne and George Guest had been close friends all their lives. Why, he thought, should Corinne's sympathy over his wife's antics irritate him? It wasn't as if he were still in love with Angel, or gave a damn whether she laid every man in town. He shook his head, managed a grin. How about you dancing with me, dream of my youth? And lose my seat at the bar? No, thank you. They'll be thundering down here from the dance floor any second now. This was transparent. Corinne was strictly a social imbiber, and here she was, talking like one of the club's lushes. It was just an excuse to get him off the hook. In her intuitive way, Corinne had apparently sensed his annoyance. Go find your wife and dance with her, Corinne smiled. So she knew he could no longer keep from looking for Angel. She deserves to suffer for deserting you. Suffer? Am I that bad? You'll do till George comes along. You two are the worst dancers in town. As he slid from his stool, Corinne added, Oh, and if you see that husband of mine, steer him this away. Denton smiled back and drifted off. The bar was beginning to fill up now, as Corinne had predicted. He had to shoulder his way up the staircase through a thickening crowd. Upstairs, as he surveyed the flashing motley on the dance floor, Denton clanked his sword against his knee and felt less ridiculous in his musketeer's costume. Everyone in Ridgemore seemed to be attending this Halloween ball, at least everyone in the country club set, and only a few of the older members had come in ordinary evening togs. In addition to the tried-and-true ghosts, goblins, witches, and wizards, there were clowns, hobos, moon men, cowboys, 2 knights armored in aluminum-painted cardboard, several harem girls, at least 3 Madame de Barrys, a George Washington with a Martha on his arm, an Abe Lincoln, on obvious elevator shoes, even one overweight Tarzan in a leopard skin that left most of his hairy chest and back bare. Denton watched the dancers for several minutes without spotting his wife's costume, or rather lack of one. Angel had come, of course, as Cleopatra. What could be more appropriate? Angel loved these affairs. They gave her a socially acceptable excuse for putting her luscious anatomy on exhibit before the men. She was as close to naked as the law allowed. Once it had caused him anguish. No more. He had not really expected to find her on the dance floor, not after a whole hour's disappearance. It was only a technical possibility that he had to eliminate. So now he knew that again she was in the dark somewhere, probably outdoors, her wrap over her near nudity, with some Ridgemore buck enthusiastically playing Antony to her royal Egyptian whore. Denton had reached the point where he no longer even wanted to salvage his marriage. He was merely drifting along until she committed some act so flagrant that he could not ignore it. The only thing that angered him was the occasional poor old Jim glance he caught friends throwing his way when they saw him alone, peering over a crowd. Abruptly, he went out into the lobby again and back downstairs to the bar. The scabbard banging his shins made him elevate it at a high angle behind him. It struck him that in this position the sword gave him a tail. He thought with amusement that he was now complete. He had had the horns for a long time. The barroom by now was packed and deafening. Corinne Guest still sat where he had left her. She gave him the raised eyebrows. I forgot to look for him, Denton confessed, belatedly remembering her request, although I don't think he's on the dance floor. Oh, well, Corinne said. Sooner or later, George will zero in on the bar. Couldn't you find Angel, either? I only took a duty look. If I don't go hunting for